snap your fingers and get ready for another wild ride. This is Wednesday, Episode 4. The episode begins a clandestine late in the evening morgue adventure. Wednesday wants to go and view the bodies to get some additional evidence, so she and Thing break into the coroner's office to check out the monster victims. It looks like all the bodies have a body part missing. This monster likes to collect mementos like a serial killer. Fabulous. When the coroner unexpectedly returns, Wednesday hides in one of the compartments. When the coroner opens the slightly ajar door, he remarks on how dead Wednesday looks and closes the door. When Thing comes to open the compartment, Wednesday asks to remain in there longer. I am getting claustrophobic just thinking about it. Wednesday goes back to her dorm room and adds some fun dead body pictures to her room. While you would think a werewolf would have more of a stomach for dead bodies, she faints several times when Wednesday presents her with all the facts. Wednesday concludes that the monster is collecting some artifacts, like Jeffrey Dahmer. Clearly, there is some method to the madness here. The next day in class, all the other students are excited about the dance, which completely interrupts the botany class. Wednesday is sitting next to Xavier, who seems more tortured than usual and is in some pain. But as he bends over, she notices those deep scratch marks on Xavier's neck. She chooses not to confront him. He really could have done a better job of covering them up if he was trying to hide them. After class, Wednesday follows Xavier to some obscure place. This place seems to be our tortured artist's fortress of solitude, art studio. In this room, Wednesday discovers horrifying nightmare-inducing drawings of the monster. She begins to make her escape just as Xavier returns, but he catches her before she can leave, and Wednesday can tell he is suspicious of her sudden appearance in this very secluded place. Fearing her cover has been blown, she decides to ask him to the dance to distract him. He accepts a little too eagerly. Clearly, he was hoping this would happen. Enid is excited that Wednesday is going to the dance, and, of course, that calls for a shopping trip, as whatever Wednesday has in her closet simply will not do. Wednesday is not moved by the dress shops she goes to, and all the color in those places feels a little too much, but she does love a gothic-inspired dress hanging in the antique shop's window. However, she does not buy it. God forbid, that might show she is a little excited to go. While on her excursion, she comes across her therapist, Dr. Kinbot, and heads to the sheriff's office. Wednesday suggests they work together to solve the murders, but she is being stingy with the details, and our dear sheriff is skeptical and weary of Wednesday. Galpin tells her that if she wants him to take her seriously, she should bring evidence. Meanwhile, Enid and Lucas, one of the bullies from the first episode and the mayor's son, get to talk and agree to go together to the dance to make his ex and her almost love jealous. I mean, doesn't this guy hate the outcasts and go out of his way to bully them? It also seems Ajax decided not to explain himself like a normal person. I guess teens are going to teen. Wednesday decides to relocate her bloody evidence board to the beekeeping area. This proves to be a good thing as the fellow outcast immediately recognizes a spiraling cave in one of Xavier's paintings. Eugene knows precisely where it is, so they go over there. When they get there, Wednesday tells Eugene not to save her if he hears her scream because she is probably enjoying it. Tinky but okay. In the cave, our detective comes across quite a few disturbing things, such as bones, handcuffs, and chains. In addition, Wednesday finds a claw of the monster from which she intends to acquire DNA. Since she is convinced that Xavier is the monster or is controlling the monster, she decides to go back to Xavier's hideout and grab a bloody rag from the bin to provide a DNA match. It seems Xavier just has the ability to catch her out all the time, and this turns into Wednesday confronting Xavier and accusing him of being the monster. Xavier is horrified and hurt by the accusation. He argues with Wednesday and tells her the scratches on his neck came from his painting. Did we mention that his power is bringing his artwork to life? He has a hard time controlling his powers, just like everyone else. Finally, he realizes that Wednesday sees him only as a monster and is simply looking to prove it, so he tells her to leave. It seems the date to the dance is cancelled. The intrepid investigator returns to the sheriff as promised with the evidence in hand. Although he is surprised by how quickly this all came about, Galpin sends the evidence to get analyzed. Meanwhile, Eugene, who has a massive crush on Enid, plucks up the nerve to ask her to the dance. She rejects him, and as Wednesday points out, that response is obvious. Frankly, Eugene would be a better choice than Lucas. So Eugene and Wednesday decide to go after the monster instead of going to the dance since neither of them has a date. Binka and Xavier decide to go to the dance together. Thing decides to play matchmaker and end the will they or won't they situation with Tyler, who previously expressed he did not know where he stood with Wednesday. Thing types a note and leaves it in the tip jar, asking him to go to the dance with Wednesday. So while Wednesday is preparing to leave for her monster hunt with Eugene, Tyler shows up at Wednesday's door dressed and ready to go. With her powers of deduction, Wednesday figures out that Thing has set her up, and she frantically rushes to get changed. Thing, taking the fairy godmother trope to its fullest extent, has also bought her the dress that she wanted from the antique shop, and she puts it together and goes to the dance. Unfortunately, she forgets about Eugene, who is upset that Wednesday is going to the dance they had agreed not to go to together, so makes the dumb choice to go out to stake out the monster by himself. Remember, kids never allow emotions to make your choices for you. At the dance, everyone is caught off guard by how amazing our little black swan looks, and Xavier looks like he will explode from how jealous he is. And Ajax is also watching Enid seemingly enjoy herself with Lucas, with envy written all over his face. Xavier can't take watching the girl he likes hanging with Tyler, so he spoils the dance for Wednesday. He tells her that Tyler and his friends beat him up on the last outreach day and ruined his mural. Naturally, this affects Wednesday, who we know castrated a boy for bullying. She confronts her date, and he is candid and tells her he did it, but he seems remorseful. He was going through a lot at home and took it out on the wrong person. This is what led him to Dr. Kimbot's office. The regret Tyler shows for his actions and his honesty moves Wednesday, and she decides Tyler is okay and they should enjoy the night. Then, in what is probably my favorite scene in the show, Wednesday breaks out the creepiest, coolest, and weirdest dance moves ever known to man. Definitely GIF-worthy. Xavier and Bianca argue, and his ugly green monster rears its ugly head, and he says things that upset Bianca. And it turns out once a bully, always a bully. Even though Enid and Lucas were having a nice time, he decides to go ahead with the plan to ruin the dance. His cohorts arrive to set up a prank. They recreate the scene from Carrie, complete with blood and the sprinklers. The students are slipping and sliding as they try to escape the carnage. Enid walks out to the back to find the three cohorts laughing. She feels betrayed and is upset, and she starts to cry as she confronts Lucas, who at least seems to feel bad. Ajax follows her and is there to comfort her. Wednesday seems unaffected by the blood, even remarking the blood tastes like paint. But at that moment, she has another vision, and unfortunately, Eugene is being attacked. She rushes to the forest to rescue him, but she is too late and finds him on the forest floor, mauled and looking dead.